Hi, Haleh, how
Hi,
are you?
June. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for having me on your program.
Great to see you. We go way back to
Way back.
2001, and
Absolutely.
I've had the privilege of knowing you for that long, and we've done some great work together. I want to say for the community, for children, going way many years back, and I'm so always in awe of your commitment and dedication in keeping it going. And I've watched Child International that you represent today. I'm here with Haleh Khatami, who's going to introduce herself and tell us all about it. And I've watched Child International to get to where it is today over the past 18 years. So I'm honored that you accepted my invitation, and despite all the daily challenges, you're here. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Bita. Thanks for having me and inviting me on your great program. And it's been a real honor knowing you since then. I think you got involved with us in the year 2001 when we were holding our second gala. I'm always
Correct.
Proud to say that our group was the pioneer in the Iranian American community to hold several types of fundraising events, such as Nowruz bazaars, especially the so-called gala in the year 2000.
Yes.
And you joined us in 2001 and brought so much innovation to our group. And I watched you grow and become this fine lady with multiple talents in all walks of life. And I personally want to thank you for being such a pillar of support for our community. No matter what cause it is, you always bring our community and people together, whether it's charitable or cultural, art or innovation related. You're always there.
Thank you so much.
And on top of it all, you're a fantastic chef and a dancer. I absolutely love your recipes. I share them with my daughters and really enjoy watching you.
Thank you so much, Haleh. You truly are a Shirzan, and you yourself are so multi-talented, from karate to being a mom to running a charity to running a business. So
thank you.
I have been so lucky to be surrounded by women like yourself who inspire me. So thank you so much for that.
Thanks for having me.
So let's get started. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Child International, how it all began, and just for those who may not be familiar. And friends, the donation button is on here. At any point, if you like, you can just push a button and donate as much as you wish. Every dollar counts when it comes to charity. So go ahead, Haleh.
Yes, thank you. I have to backtrack again to the late 1990s, which will give away my age, but that's okay. So that's when I came across a group of very passionate Iranian Americans who were helping underprivileged children in Iran, providing them a proper education. So we were involved with that organization for a good 7 to 8 years, and we grew it, greatly. Until we had about 3,000 children sponsored in that program. But since the dynamics of world politics changed after September 11, and all the U.S. sanctions were imposed on Iran, we had to part away from that organization. So here we were, a group of very passionate, individuals who work together very closely and making a difference in the world. And now we had no tangible cause, so we were really looking for that cause where we could be really impactful in the world. And what happened was that two of the most prominent members of our community, Dr. Holakouee and our beloved Dariush, came forward and told us all about the horrific conditions that the Iranian refugees were living in Turkey. So one of our members, Dr. Yasai, who's also a co-founder, traveled to Van, Turkey in the year 2004 and came back with heart-wrenching stories about the dire conditions that the Iranian families were living in. The parents were not allowed to work. The children were not able to attend schools in Turkey. So they were just wandering around without any sort of education for many years. So it was back then that we decided to form Child International in the year 2004 with the mission of helping displaced and underprivileged children. So we took action and we established a school for refugee children, majority Iranian, but some Afghans and other refugees as well. And we took the curriculum from United States for homeschooling and we implemented it in that school. So every year about 200 students or over studied in that program. And the school was running and operational for 10 to 11 years until the local schools in Turkey allowed the refugee children to attend their schools. So that's when we closed the school down, but we kept our program going. And until now, we support over 150 refugee children in Turkey by providing seasonal gifts to them. Every Nowruz they receive cash money to buy their desired gifts and or toys, and in the summertime we provide backpacks and school supplies to them, and in the winter time they receive warm clothing. So that program continues on until now.
Very nice. You know, sometimes we forget, I mean, it's so important to remember that there are so many refugees that are living in these horrific, truly horrific conditions, whether it's in Turkey, in Greece, and other parts of the world. And, you know, they're truly forgotten in many shapes and forms. So
absolutely.
Shout out to all of you for stepping up and creating, you know, trying to provide some sort of a solution for this condition that's, you know, ever growing. So that's great. I'm going to, as we go forward, I'm going to show some of the pictures that you have sent to me. So you also have another special program here. You call it the Local Adoptive Family Program, which I found, you know, amazing. And you mentioned it to me when we chatted earlier. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, absolutely. That program was officially started in the year 2014, but even prior to that, we were helping local Iranian families. And the reason that we had to structure that program is because so many of our friends and families would call us with stories about needy Iranian families in our community locally here in Orange County or Los Angeles area. So we created the Adoptive Family Program in 2014 with the mission of providing short-term relief for refugees, immigrants, or any family in need, basically, while we empowered them to become self-sufficient and self-reliant. Now, this is all accomplished by housing assistance, providing them housing assistance, healthcare, educational needs, job search, career planning, and etc. And the way we evaluate these families, first of all, they're mostly referred to us by other nonprofit organizations or by friends or family in the community, I mean, friends or supporters. And, you know, we have a very long application they need to fill out. They go through a very thorough process of evaluation. Then we do a face-to-face interview with them and we assess their needs. And when they get approved to be part of our program, we set short-term goals as well as long-term goals for them. Each family has their own customized plan. Majority happen to be single mothers with young children, and we either encourage them to go to school and continue their education so they can earn more money. While they do that, you know, we provide all kinds of like child care for them so they can achieve.
Are these families mainly here in Southern California? Yes. Or what is the, okay.
Yes, they're mainly here in Orange County and Los Angeles areas. And we help them once they graduate. Let's say the mothers graduate, we help them find jobs and become self-sufficient. We help their kids with their needs. And we have amazing stories to share with you, success stories when it comes to these families. It's come to a point where they have become a community because they get to know each other and they become the support group for each other.
It's a cycle of giving and returning, and you know they all end up helping each other, which is beautiful.
Absolutely. And and they, at this point, you know, they've come to a point where they like, once they become independent, they come forward and they want to help the organization. And believe it or not, majority of our volunteers have become these members that have gained the support of our organization in the past and now are willing to give back.
Well, you know, with COVID, you know, you guys always had helped, you know, your different types of fundraising events, whether it was the gala or other types of events. And, you know, that's where that was the opportunity for you to share these stories and these success stories and these wonderful experiences that people are having through your effort. And unfortunately, due to COVID, you don't get to host those events. So I think it's important for everybody who used to support such organizations by being there present, now being consciously aware that they can continue supporting and donating these causes, even if we're not meeting in person and having a party. We can, those problems and those challenges still exist that you're trying to solve every day. And actually more of the different types have been added to the bucket of the challenges because of where we are. So hopefully everybody realizes that we can continue giving and continue supporting. And I'm sure your team would be more than happy to provide those examples of success stories if anybody asks for, right?
Oh, we have, yes, we have videos of our families who have willingly stepped forward to share their stories. And when we hold our galas, of course, we play those videos, and literally the whole place, the whole venue has tears in their eyes. And that's what encourages people to donate to our organization. And another point that I wanted to make, Bita Jun, is that, as you know, our organization is volunteer run. It has always been the, you know, we only have one employee, Gilda Afshar, who puts her heart and soul into this organization and works double the hours that she works. And all she does is to provide the services that I talked about to the families. So I want your followers to know that our overhead is only 4 to 6%, which is minimal, basically, compared to the national 37% that 37% average for nonprofits in the United States. So majority of the funds that are donated to us go to the needy families and children, and everyone here works from their heart and soul and does true charity. So that's all about our adoptive family program. We do have seasonal drives that are held about 4 or 5 times a year, for Nowruz, for back to school, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Right now our Christmas campaign is on, and the children and families in Turkey, in Southern California, and our adoptive family program are included in these drives. We also include, if we raise enough funds, we also include a group of Syrian refugees in El Cajon, San Diego, who benefit from our seasonal drives as well. If your followers like to donate to that also, they can do so on our website, or they can go to Facebook, and there is a campaign going on for Christmas toy drive. This year we're going beyond that, and we're providing our families with food packages as well, because this year has been unusually difficult for everyone. So that's what we're doing with our adoptive family program.
So do those in need come to you to collect this, you know, all the goods, or how does the distribution process work?
Well, we have a list in Turkey, a list of families in Turkey. We have a list of families here in Orange County and LA areas. And we do have a list in San Diego. So this year, what we may do is distribute gift cards for Walmart or Target, or just send them checks, because of the COVID situation, we can't gather them. We usually do every year. For Thanksgiving, we hold a Thanksgiving party for them when we serve food, and then we distribute the gift cards or the food items that have been collected. And for Christmas, we have a small gathering for our families when they all get together and enjoy the festivities. But this year, unfortunately, we can't do that. So we may just resort to sending them gift cards or checks.
So I have a picture that you had shared with me talking about New York. So what have you guys done in other parts of the states?
Oh, we do have families in other parts of this, in other parts as well. Once in a while, we receive calls from other states. That picture that you see actually is we're doing furniture donation. We're picking
Wow.
furniture from an apartment in New York, and distributing them to very, very low income families in a very poor area in New York. I think it's called Jamaica. So we did that a few times this past year. Just because you brought that picture up, I like to mention to your followers that our organization accepts donation of slightly used clothing, household items, and furniture. Our furniture distribution has taken off so much. You know, people call us. We don't have a place to store them. So what we do, our supporters send us pictures. We have a WhatsApp group. We send the pictures to the WhatsApp group, and whoever wants them, we
contact you directly.
Yeah, they contact us, and then we just make the delivery from the donor to the recipient, because we don't have the facilities.
Very nice.
And then our donors receive tax deduction. We also accept cars. So
wow, good to know. So, you know, sometimes people wonder, well, I don't have the cash to give at this time. So it's good to know that there's other ways that they can donate, not just monetarily, but also goods that can be donated.
Absolutely.
But you don't stop right there. You also continue doing other programs. You have so many programs. I don't think we can cover them all in this short conversation. It's astonishing what you guys are accomplishing with just one staff member and all volunteers. So it's incredible. Do you want to talk about the Nushin Scholarship Fund?
Yes, Nushin Scholarship Fund, I'm sure you remember, was established in 2016 in honor of my best friend, who was one of the most dedicated members of our organization. She passed away due to a tragic incident. So in her honor, we started a scholarship fund. And ever since its inception, it's taken off so much and has received so much attention. Up to now, we have awarded over 40 scholarships to very deserving students. And the funds usually cover a portion of the tuition or pays for their books. Recently, we have purchased so many computers and iPads for students because of COVID-19. They need to have really good
access to technology,
conditions and access to technology. So this year we've distributed more computers, iPads than any other year. And if your followers also like to donate slightly used or computers, iPads in working condition, you know, we always accept them.
I'm sure everybody has extra iPhones and Android phones or whatever. I mean, we all upgrade. So we have all, I mean, I have a stash, so I'll make sure I'll go through them and see how I can get them to you for sure.
Absolutely. And I just want to mention that right now we're supporting students in some of the most reputable universities like Stanford, UC Berkeley, UCLA, UCI, and some other ones. And yeah, we've seen amazing results.
Beautiful. Yeah. You brought up, you know, going back to COVID-19 and the challenges that most nonprofits and small businesses and individuals have faced one way or another. How has it really impacted you, other than the fact that you can't have some of the programs or events or activities within the community where you brought everybody together? How has it impacted you? How have you overcome them? And, you know, let's touch on that and how people can help.
Well, of course, you know, more than anything, I mean, raising funds is one thing, and not being able to hold events, but the impact has been tremendous on our families. As I mentioned to you before, you know, our families mostly consist of single moms. They're immigrants, refugees, and so forth. And they're not only struggling with economic conditions, but many of them have health issues and so forth. So on top of all that, you know, that we're all hit with COVID-19. Many of them have hourly or daily jobs as babysitters, caregivers, cosmetologists, meaning hairstylists, or even Uber drivers who completely lost their income during COVID-19, and they don't qualify to receive government help or unemployment. So immediately after the lockdowns, we started an online campaign as an emergency fund, COVID-19 emergency fund for our families. And we started distributing additional funds to our families who have been really hit hard with COVID-19. That fund is still open. We still review our cases on monthly basis and make sure that they're covered. And if they need extra, we help them with the extra funds. The other thing that we have done during COVID-19 as part of our disaster relief program is we started a campaign raising funds to purchase ventilators for Iran. And that happened early in the early phase of COVID-19 when Iran was hit really hard before United States. And we raised over $20,000. We purchased 2 brand new ventilators, which were given to a remote hospital in Babol, Iran. And we did this in collaboration with Moms Against Poverty. We also purchased another ventilator. This one was not new, but is in great condition, for a local hospital in Riverside. I think it's called Riverside Community Hospital. And that area was hit really hard too with COVID-19. So we're always happy to be active in the Middle East, in Iran, and other parts of the world, as well as locally. So that's what we have done so far in order to fight the COVID-19 hardships. It's an ongoing program. If your followers like to donate to that program, you can go on our Facebook. You see a campaign called Child 2020 No Gala campaign. Of course, it's obvious from the name, because we raise majority of our funds at our annual gala. And this year we were planning our grand 20th gala, believe it or not. But of course we weren't able to do that. So you can donate to that fund. And as I mentioned, we evaluate our cases on monthly basis and distribute the funds as needed.
Beautiful. And you touched on one other thing that I wanted to bring on as well, is that it's so great to see that different organizations, charitable organizations like yourself, Moms Against Poverty, Keep Children in School, you all, and I'm sure Parsi Equality Center, you all are cross networking with each other. And, you know, Iranian American Women Foundation, all these different organizations I see helping each other with their projects. And if there is an area that one has more expertise than the other or has connections over the other, you guys are helping each other. And that's so powerful to see within our community, because it's increasing the impact that you can have in the different areas that you each work on. So it's wonderful to see that happening.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very proud of our collaboration with the local nonprofits, especially with the Iranian American organizations such as Keep Children in School, Moms Against Poverty, and other ones. And also some other local non-Iranian organizations, because as I mentioned to you, disaster relief has been a permanent part of our work, and it's a program by itself. So dealing with COVID-19 situation is not new to us. We've been involved in numerous natural disasters across the world, providing relief work, as little as it may have been. But what we do, if we have a base in the country where the disaster or natural disaster takes place, of course our representatives will take action. If not, we do a very thorough research to find similar organizations with similar kind of visions that we have. Overhead is very important to us. We look for smaller organizations, volunteer run, hands-on, where we make sure that the funds that our donors are generously giving to us is going to the right place. So we have worked with all those organizations in the past. Yes.
I don't know how you guys do all these different things. I mean, there's so many different efforts that are going on at the same time, and
right,
you keeping the overhead low and making such an impact is truly admirable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Haleh and the entire crew there, and
Thank
more
you.
power to all of you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll make sure that I share all the links with the donation links when we post this video. And everyone, it's the year end. You still have tax write-offs to add to your accounting. So make sure you choose a charity that's doing incredible work, like Child International, like all the other ones in the community that are near and dear to your heart. And please donate and give. As you can see, all of these efforts are mainly volunteer-based. So this is how we can all help. And we just found out today that we can also give, goods. So there's no excuse.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bita. Thank you again for having me on this lovely platform where I can express the needs of our organization.